Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Pocket Knockers podcast with Ed and myself. And Ding Dong Marilyn. Hi, Aidan is with us this month.
Hi.
Hi. What was that?
Beautiful, beautiful.
Nasty girl. Scandalous. Insatiable.
Good stuff. Today, it's Aidan. He is known for being a half-troll. He likes to wear things in his beard. He's got the old juicy dangler going on today.
I have got an incredibly juicy dangler.
He does indeed, yes. They call him the angler of the dangler. Anyway, today you can find us doing series. That is to say, as always, in the first round, we will be proposing a list of good series. And one of them will come up in the wheel. We pick one, and we then have to... No, it comes up in the wheel. We have to have that one. And we have to try and market it to Aidan, who will remain completely unbiased throughout. Which one of us, whether it be Ed or I, who proposes the best sort of synopsis and answers Aidan's questions as, thoroughly as possible, yes, they'll get the point, the first point. Now then, that brings us on to round 2, where we have the bad shit round. And that is exactly the opposite of the first round. We pick... Well, no, we don't fucking pick. We get given one off the wheel.
Sake, Michael.
It's your game.
God,
Jesus Christ. We always say, you know what, you can host it because you're better at talking than me. You're fucking it up.
Who decided that was a thing?
I know. Right.
Okay. I'd just like to hear him make a tit of himself. All right.
Yeah. Second round is shit round. We get a shit series from the wheel. We have to then say how shit it is. This one who proposes their series as the shittest wins. Yet again on our Aidan's judgment. Round 3 is Aidan's list. And we'll be given one of Aidan's series. And of course, we won't know anything about these series. And we are going to have to pretend like we know exactly what's going on in that series. The one who puts on the best brave face and manages to market it as well as they possibly can, according to Aidan, will, of course, get that point. Now, we also have a bogey as well.
That 1 point?
That's 2 points, isn't it, that round you said?
It's 2 points now because we've realised sometimes... Normally me, if I get the first 2 rounds, then there's not really much point in doing the third round because we know that I've won. So we decided to put 2 points on there. And then we have the option for a tiebreaker in that case, which is, would you like to describe that one, Michael?
No, you do it.
Okay. Well, Aidan will have an item of his choice in his pocket. We will have to guess what is in Aidan's pocket. We take it in turns to guess. We take it in turns to ask questions, should I say. If we think we know what it is, we shout out our name, and then we guess. But we can only guess once. If we get that one guess wrong, the other person wins. If you guess it correct, then you win.
Round.
Oh, it's a new format.
Can I have a second series? Right. Okay, Edward, please start off. Spin that ruddy good wheel of yours, eh?
Okie doke. Let's ignore
Big
the fact
train.
Yeah, that's what. All right, shall we admit it? I just fucked up and I had to refresh everything, and it landed on Big Train. All right, it landed on Big Train. Shall I go with Big Train or shall I spin again?
Is that? I don't know. A Big Train can't possibly be good. It's called Big Train. Move on. Spin it again. We need to see the spin. Suspense.
Big Train can't possibly be good. All right, here we go. Is the wheel spinning for you?
Tick, 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 tick.
Yes.
Oh, it's Big Train. Yay!
There we go. It's like it's
Fated.
meant to be. It's meant to
Fated.
be. Big Train.
Did you say it meant to be?
Interesting.
It's meant
Have
to
you
be.
never heard of Big Train then, Michael?
I've not heard of Big Train.
Have you heard of Big Train, Aidan?
I have heard of Big Train.
Of course, because you two watch everything. Apparently all I do is watch James Bond movies and Grand Tour on loop.
And you're bad at describing them.
Okay.
Stop getting Bond wrong.
Stop getting Bond. Yeah, I know. I am the worst. Literally. Crack on, Aidan.
Michael's wheel.
Edward. My wheel.
Edward.
It's good. It's my good wheel. And it's going to land on Castle. Okay.
Castle?
Sure. Why the fuck is that on this list? Good stuff.
Well, it's your fucking fault, mate. It's your fucking fault.
Yeah, I know, it's on there.
Yeah.
Castle.
Castle, you arsehole.
Right then.
Castle. Okay. So.
Who are we starting with?
Okay.
So, dealer's choice, Aidan.
Yeah, dealer's choice. Go on.
Right then, young Michael. I think you should probably tell me a little bit about Castle.
Ooh.
So, first
I
question.
will.
Tell me. Give me the skinny on it. What is it?
I'll give you the skinny. Right. I can't do that. I've only got a fatty. Right. Basically.
It's not what's written on that cubicle wall, mate.
Yeah.
And I know I wrote
Ed's
it.
mum's phone number is 07950460091.
You're missing a
that was-
number.
Pizza. Right?
Am I?
Yeah.
Just chuck another one in, please, Carol. That's how
from the
Carol
top.
Vorderman works, isn't it?
No,
Anyway.
she
Chuck
didn't do
another one in
that
there.
anymore.
Yeah.
I'd fucking chuck one into Carol Vorderman. Right. Okay. Castle is a crime series, all right. It's set in New York. It's filmed really nicely, actually. Rather like CSI or NCIS or anything like that, there's a new crime, if you like, in each episode. Basically, our star, Mr. Castle himself, he is an author, and he is played by Nathan Fillion, who is famous for being in the amazing TV show Firefly. That would win any sort of round like this. So yes, he's very good. He's very comical. He's very good on camera, and he manages to just portrays the lines very well in a comical fashion. Now then, I hear you ask, Aidan, but Michael, apart from any generic fucking cop drama, what's going on here? Well, that's where I'm going to answer that question.
Exactly my next question.
Yeah. Yes, there's new crimes and everything. He's an author. Where does an author come into it? Well, he is a crime novelist, and he then actually manages to get a bit of a deal because he's very famous. He gets a deal with the police chief to follow young Kate Beckett, played by Stanya Katic, and she is a very, very straight cop. Does everything by the book. Very, serious. That's the word I'm looking for.
Okay.
And then he comes along and he's like, oh, hi, I'm going to be following you around while you solve crimes. And basically, it's a lovely combination of the two characters intertwining together whilst they solve crimes. It turns out that he's not just a bumbling idiot after all. He actually, because of the way his crime novelist brain works, actually helps them solve crimes as well. And he actually ends up getting employed in some of the later series, by the police department to actually help Kate, and they become partners, much to her dismay, as you can imagine. And then eventually they become lovers, of course, because you get your wicket wet.
Because it's a TV show.
Yeah. But no, it's very good, and it's I do like a cop drama, and this one adds a nice element of comedy, because normally on things even as good as CSI, you don't really get much comedy. You get like the odd one-liner here and there, but with this, it keeps a smile on your face through each episode. It's very, very good.
Very good. So, it's like she's the straight man, as it were, and he's the comic relief. Would you go that far?
Yeah, 100%.
Or
yes. Yeah, definitely. That's exactly what it is.
He's a bit of a maverick. He's not afraid to say drive 35 mile an hour in a 30 zone. If he wants to get somewhere quickly.
It might also be worth mentioning, though, that because he is, of course, in the series at least, an award-winning author, he's also extremely wealthy. So I remember one particular episode where I think he does something wrong, and so the chief is like, "Whoa there, Castle, what are you doing? That's a bit much." And he decks like the kitchen out, the police kitchen, with like the proper like a Costa coffee machine and stuff like that, like to get on their good side again, because he's just got so much fucking money. It is good.
So is the police chief like a classic TV
Yes. It's
Cop.
actually, it starts off, and he's for some reason in series and films, it's always a black cop. That's like the chief, and it's exactly. It follows all those tropes. He's absolutely furious. He shouts and throws things in the office. Exactly what you want from a police chief. He manages to do. Yes.
Good stuff. So what about supporting cast? Who else is in it? Anybody of note?
No, not really. There's Susan Sullivan, who is she's famous she's an older lady now. In fact, I think she may even be alive still. But I should imagine, being older, she's probably been in other things. She has indeed. Dharma and Greg, apparently. No idea what that is. Another World stuff right back through the 80s as well. But for our generation, if you like, unfortunately, no. It's basically just Nathan Fillion. And I think that Stanya Kitik was pretty much made her career on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I've never really heard of her before.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, indeed.
so what is there any sort of, and apart from the love story, is there any other overarching plot, or is it really just sort of crime of the week?
There is every episode's like a mini movie, you know, and there are like loads of twists and turns and corruptions. And for instance, I think it's the end of season 1, that police chief, they start getting really close to breaking one of the big cases, which I think is like a cartel or something, and they come after the chief, and they find themselves in tricky situations. And the chief actually, I think, takes a bullet to save Castle. Even though the chief actually started hating him. So it's quite a good plot twist. But to be honest, I think the whole tension and the whole basis of the entire series is a stupid, overly rich gentleman trying to take part in very serious police work.
It sounds like the last American election.
It does. Yeah.
Apart from the police work a bit. So is it set in any specific police department, or are we just dealing with general crimes? What's the situation there?
So yes, Kate Beckett is a detective for just a police department in New York. So all ranges of crimes, from just drugs to like big things to like cartels and things, and homicides and rape and all that good New York stuff. It's quite good. Lots of variation, and you can tell that there's definitely someone in behind the scenes who knows what they're doing. Like all the cases are feasible, which is always nice.
So it's believable. So they're not after like, I don't know, anything. It doesn't do the usual sort of American TV trope of, I don't know, going over the top with things. They're not looking for like the ambassador of some unnamed African country's crown jewels. No,
they're not. No, they do. It's hard to obviously, if they didn't dramatize it at all, it would probably be a bit shit. So yeah, it's definitely dramatized, but it's not action, if that makes sense.
Okay.
It's definitely more of. To be honest, I would say it was probably going towards more of a comedy than an action.
Right, but it's more on the procedural side of things as well, rather than gunfights and car chases.
Exactly. Even though there are a couple of episodes where that happens. But yeah, primarily no.
Okay. So it's set in New York,
yes.
You said. Is that obvious? Are we seeing a lot of landmarks, or could this have been filmed in, Boston and they just claim it's New York or whatever?
It is filmed in New York. That is a fact. But there are scenes where they are just in an alley, and they don't focus on landmarks. So it's not like they're just doing like gunfights on the top of the Empire State Building. But so I guess from that point of view, yes, they could have filmed on location in another place. But you still, at no point watching it did I think, that seems a little bit off. No, I think it is all filmed in New York.
Cool. Right. So it's yellow taxis, shoe on, and hot dog stands on every corner.
That's it. Yes. That's it.
I do love me a hot dog taxi.
I've never what?
It's a mashup, isn't it?
Is that
So
you're on.
That's the name of this podcast.
I've completely forgot what I was going to ask now. You said it was Crime of the Week. Are there any longer episodes or any longer storylines or anything like that?
There are some that span over a couple, like a 2-part like special. I remember one in particular where the bad guys are chasing Castle specifically. I think they even kidnap his mum. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Hey, don't worry about it.
Forget about it.
Yeah. But yes, that one spans over a couple, and yeah, it's really good, and I like it when they do that. I know. I think nearly everything of this sort of genre does the same thing now and again. You'll get a 2-parter, and they do it really well.
Okay, so we got what about the soundtrack? We got, because I mean, you mentioned CSI a couple of times, and that's got everybody knows the soundtrack for that sort of thing. So have we got any rocking tunes in this one?
No.
You get
Never mind. You get the normal kind of, BGM, like background music, when they're solving crimes and doing things.
I thought that was a band.
Oh, yeah. Backstreet Gang Mafia.
Oh right, yes.
Yeah.
I like the early stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's all right. I didn't like them when Freddie left.
True. I think the heart.
I prefer Steve.
The heart of the band.
Yeah, Steve was all right. I mean, he tried to fill the gap, but the problem is, as a bassist, he just wasn't. He played with the plectrum, and I just prefer when they play with the fingers more. You know me, I'm about the fingering.
I've heard that about you again. That cubicle tells a lot about you, mate.
Cubicle.
Cubicle. Right then. Yeah, the same one that your statistics are written in. So, cop stuff, cop shows.
You've lost him. Look at his poor face. He's like,
I've got no idea.
He's saying that you write all your information on the wall of a toilet cubicle.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh, yeah. If you've got to explain it to him, just leave it. So, is it similar to? Would you say it's similar to any other cop shows? I mean, you've mentioned CSI, but are we? Is it a pretender to that? Would you say, or is it trying to do its own thing more?
It is because I will put my hands up and say that CSI is one of my favourite series of all time. But this one gets in the top 10. I don't really have space for other things like that. For instance, CSI and NCIS are almost exactly the same. And it depends. I think it's just about which one you liked or watched first, and that's the one you'll probably stick with.
NCIS has got a goth girl in it. It's a no-brainer.
Sorry, Gil Grissom.
She all right. I'm not knocking. I'm not judging. Each to their own, mate. But give me a little bit of. I like a
over middle-aged man. Right. So. Yeah, but this does hold its own on its whole separate thing because, as I said a couple of times, it has that comedy in it, and that really does give it a whole really different feel. A whole different feel, really.
It feels different, really.
It does really feel different. And yeah, and because of that, that is why I have 2 crime dramas in my top 10, aka the wheel list. But yeah, this is a good one, and it really stands out. By the way, guys, for those of you listening or watching on YouTube, if you haven't watched Castle and you like cop dramas, treat yourself. It's good.
So is it available on any streaming services? Is it still easy to find and watch? Has it got much of a following? Prime.
I didn't realize we were just going to go full plug. It's on Prime Video. You can watch it on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I mean, I confess I have heard of it, but I've never seen any of it.
Yeah. I don't know. I remember it being popular at the time. Nathan Fillion was obviously quite liked in his previous roles.
He's a well-known man.
Yeah, and definitely brought the star power to it. And because of that, that's probably why people like myself watched it. It is a daytime sort of thing. So, people sitting at home watching Homes Under the... Old people, all right? Watching Homes Under the Hammer.
Replace Diagnosis Murder, is that what you're saying?
You what?
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Diagnosis Murder or Monk or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's a fucking crime drama, but yeah, it's got the comedy in it.
Okay. I have no further questions about Castle.
Castle.
Good. It's only taken us an hour and 15.
No, stop off.
To be fair, that wasn't ours. That wasn't our fault.
Lovely.
When you're editing, you can choose which version of that question you want to do.
Yeah, I'll just mix it all together. There was no technical problems there whatsoever, and it will all be flawless. You'll never notice.
All right, George Michael.
Of course, it's all good.
Right.
Okay, so we've got Big Train for Mr. Penguin. Big
You
Train.
can't wait. Okay.
No.
So Big Train, it started in 98. It was created by the creators of Father Ted, so Arthur Matthews and, yes, prepare to be censored, Graham Linehan.
Boo.
Yeah, I know. Boo. Everyone hates him now. But
He won't keep his trap shut either.
That's Alan Partridge as well, isn't it?
It was a comedy sketch show. So it started with the likes of Simon Pegg, who was in it, Mark Heap. He's been in a few things. I think that everyone probably remembers him from Friday Night Dinner as the neighbour. Kevin Eldon, and I think Series 1 also had Julia Davies in it as well from Nighty Night and Gavin and Stacey. As I said, it was more of a sketch show. So yeah, the first series it was mainly written by Arthur Matthews and the other guy. And I mean, it was well known at the time for they used to have like a world championship staring competition, and yeah, that was all. It was entirely animated. When I say animated, they were pretty much just sat there staring at each other while you had people commenting over it. They had other weird stuff, like they used to have jockeys who would always cause trouble. So they had a group of jockeys running around that they wanted to be firefighters. So there was a fire somewhere in London, and this fire engine turned up, and they were trying to put it out, and then this jockey suddenly just started hanging around trying to help them, like interfering with the instruments on the fire engine, trying to walk into the building to try and help get people out, and they were just getting in people's way. And through the end credits, there was one point at the end where you had the fireman with one of the hoses, and he just looked over and went, "All right, come over here then, come over here." And it was like, you remember, like when you were a school kid, you used to have like the fire brigade come to the school, and you'd have a go at the hose. They were all queued over there, and you'd have one of them there suddenly with their tongue out going, "Okay, I'm really trying to concentrate here." There are a few other memorable moments. You had Kevin Eldon's character. He's dressed up as the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz, and they were intersected sketches. And so it was a continuous theme throughout the episode. So it started off with one guy sitting in a subway, and you just see out the corner of his eye, and it would cut to this Tin Man from Wizard of Oz, just like standing there in the tube on the train, and it just had this like dramatic music, like dun 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 dun, just over it. And each time you looked away, the music stopped, but every time it cut back to him, the music would start again, and he just had this proper like eyes bulging stare. And that would move away, and then there would be a few other sketches, and then later on you'd see the same guy walking down the street, turn round, and he's got the Tin Man following him, and each time it pans towards the Tin Man, the music would start again, dun 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 dun, and it just, that was all it was, like 10 seconds of that. There was nothing about it, and it would happen again, like he was walking down an alleyway, and this Tin Man was following him. You see him trying to jump up this fence and stuff, fail miserably, and run away. And at the very end of the episode. It's this dinner party scene, and they're all chatting away, and then suddenly you hear there's a knock at the door. They went, "Oh yeah, Blue, come in," and it was like you see the character that's been running around, and you say, "Oh, you remember so and so, don't you?" And you just hear out the corner, out the other side of the room, says, "Oh yeah, I spotted you earlier. I tried to say hello, but I don't think you recognised me." And it cuts to this, the Tin Man just went staring. It's very obscure, just pointless stuff most of the time, but it's great. You have one where you've got Ming the Merciless from Flash Gordon, where he's.
I like it already.
He's there like throwing them in the pits, and then it just cuts to just like a normal terraced house, And he just walks in and like he's checking his mail and like listening to messages on the answering machine, and the next minute he watches a bit of TV while he starts doing the hoovering and things like that whilst watching the television, and then he's just later on he's just lazing down, not finding much to do, and he's got the Teletubbies on the TV. You just hear him going Tinky Winky. This guy in full Big the Merciless costume. It's very off the wall stuff.
So it's all like that, is it? It's all very surreal.
They had a bit of a change up for the second series because it didn't happen until 4 years later. That guy Graham Linehan, he decided not to do anything with it. I think Julia Davis wasn't in it, but they brought Catherine Tate in and a couple of others. But it's really good stuff.
So have they got recurring sketch characters? Like, Harry and Field obviously had recurring characters. The Fast Show did
it's
as well.
Not really catchphrase style characters, no. You'd have similar themes, maybe. As you say, you got the staring competition on the first one, and the jockeys would appear now and then, but it's not really like recurring sketches at all. It's just different bits here and there. It's like you've got this guy standing outside for some Tigers charity with his change can, and she walks up and they're talking about it. It's like, oh, so you're trying to save these tigers? He goes, oh no, they're bastards. I hate them. It's like they're deadly creatures. We're trying to kill them off. And she went, oh really? And he's encouraging her, and she's like, all right then. And she chucks the money into the tin. Silly little things like that. One of my favourite sketches has to be where this guy is trying to teach his kid to ride a bike without stabilizers for the first time. And you see him there, he gets the kid on the bike, he's talking to him, and he helps him put his helmet on. And then the next scene, you just see him like from behind the camera to the front of the camera, pushing this kid on this bicycle down this path, and then just lets go. And then after a while, you just see it veer off and then just falls flat on the side of the floor. It's clearly a dummy of a child on a bicycle, just like with the legs attached to the wheels. It just stops after a certain amount of time. And like, they know it's that shit, because after a while he gives up a couple of times. He's like, okay, here we go. And you see him run along, and he's holding him up in the air and just throws it into a bush. And they go, all right, okay, let's try with the training wheels again. And he puts the training wheels back on. And then he goes, right, okay, go on. And he pushes him, and off he goes. He goes, that's it. He goes, oh, no, now you're on fire. It's not working. You're just this tricycle with flames coming off it. It's great stuff. Yeah.
So is it distinctly British, would you say? Is it like
oh yes, definitely.
Would it be accessible to other countries?
I think it would be accessible. It's that kind of British off the wall humour that I think other countries would get. It's not as far gone as, like, I don't know, say Vic and Bob or Fast Show, because I would honestly say, as much as I love both of them, I don't think people overseas would kind of get it as much. Mm-hmm. But it's just about got that humour right for other countries like America or wherever.
So maybe sort of Monty Python sort of appeal.
Yeah, I think there is a fair bit of Monty Python somewhere about it, because like Monty Python did, it doesn't always have to be a punchline at the end of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's more about the humour throughout it than trying to deliver a punchline at the end for most of it.
Okay, so quite a star-studded cast. I think for the people you've mentioned so far, I've certainly seen in lots of other things. Is there anybody? I mean, well, I don't know who's who, but let's say who's your favourite cast member? Not necessarily because of their working big train, but the stuff they've gone on to, or did this break people, make people's careers?
Was
this a breakout show for people?
Yeah, I'd probably say it's very much of a breakout show for people, especially. I'm trying to think what came first, this or Spaced. When did Spaced come out? I can't remember. But
late 90s, I think.
Yeah,
might be
I'd
wrong
have
on
to
that,
check that. But
actually.
I thought it was 2000. I can't remember.
It is 99. So
it
the
was
year
prior
after,
to.
yeah.
It was prior to Spaced, so it was probably one of Simon Pegg's start off points. Kevin Eldon as well. He's one of these people that just suddenly appears in stuff. You go, oh, it's the guy from The Thing.
It's that guy.
Like in Black Books, the guy that cleans the house, cleans the shop for them. He's walking around dirty.
He's the other hotel, the racist hotel guest in Partridge as well.
Yes,
that's right. Yeah. So he's always in
like
bit parts. Mark Heap, I think he's got a brilliant range of characters. I mean, he was the Tin Man. He played Ming the Merciless as well.
I do love Mark Heap, I've got to say.
Yeah, he's
amazing.
I would say Mark Heap's great. Simon Pegg is just pretty much Simon Pegg. He's got some good bits in it, but I think he's just. I think there's more funny people around him.
Right.
Yeah.
Controversial.
So what about? Is it well produced? Did they have a budget, or is it sort of shoestring?
No, it's not much of a massive budget. They just try and find locations to film at. Most of it, I think, is location filming. I don't think it's really doing sketches in front of a live audience or anything like that. I wouldn't say it's that. It's more pre-recorded stuff.
Okay. How long did it run for?
2 series. So it was one in 98 and one in 2000. 2002. And there were 6 episodes each.
All right, so not a lot. To
no,
go.
it's one of those that just like came and went. It's weird because I think it's pretty much almost the same gap as the Young Ones or something like that. I can't really think of many sketch shows post Big Train that have been really good. Off the top of my head.
Was it before, or was this before or after Smack the Pony? I think it was before. It sounds like it was before, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was just before. I never thought. Yeah, Smack the Pony, of course. Yeah, I mean, this was on BBC Two. This one,
right? Was there not some crossover cast with that?
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. I can't think off the top of my head again, but yeah, I'm trying to remember who else was in there. Of course, Tracy Ann Oberman was in Series 2 as well. Most people now remember her from EastEnders, but you might remember her from Toast of London. He's what's his nemesis called again in Toast of London? But his nemesis' wife in that.
Oh, I vaguely know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not watched much of Toast.
But yeah, I would definitely recommend it.
Would it work today? Do you think? Is it
definitely?
Quite
I think it does. It does work today because it doesn't rely on much. What's it like? Current events or anything like that, or current popular culture. Really, I mean, I watched them just a few months ago again. Even my son enjoys them. My son's 13 and he loves them.
Oh right, okay. So yeah, it's got that draw for a new audience potentially. Well, is it where can you watch it? Is it available on anywhere?
I don't know because I've got it on DVD. That's a good question. I don't know if it's on iPlayer or anything like that. I'd have to have a quick look. But Big Train. Yeah, I can't see it saying it's listed anywhere. If I search for it online, I can't see it anywhere, which is a shame because they did really well. You get a few sketches on YouTube, obviously, but no, you can buy the DVDs on Amazon. That's a shame. I think they're missing a trick there because it shows some really good humour. What a shame.
What a shame. I think sometimes things are worthy of repeats that don't get it.
Reckon you're
all right. So have you got? I mean, I don't know anything more to add. Just a general summing up of it. We've got. You've told me a bit about the cast and the general tone of it. But
I think I've gone through a few sketches. I've gone through the cast. It is very. It's strange because you think of Arthur Matthews, especially the other guy, Graham Linehan. I mean, you recognise him from Father Ted, Black Books, IT Crowd, and the like. But it's very different to that. It is. Do they appear in it? Are they in it? No, I don't think they are. No.
So it was behind the camera on this one.
They wrote most of it. I think the second series was more collaborative. I think they had a bit more involvement from the cast on what they could do. There was a couple of sketches where I remember where Catherine Tate's character, like she was sitting in a cafe, one particular sketch, and where it looks like it's like a French scene, like French bistro, and she's there talking in French, like talking to the guy in front, and like after about 2 minutes of her talking, he just goes, "I'm sorry, I don't speak French," and just walks off. But yeah, I think they had a lot more creativity on the second series. It's I can't compare it to many sketch shows really, because it's nothing like Python, it's nothing like Fast Show, or Harry Enfield at all. I'm trying to think of anything else that might have been around that time. I remember Man Stroke Woman. It was probably might have been a bit closer to Man Stroke Woman. I'm not sure if anyone saw that on BBC Three.
I recognise the title. I can't remember seeing it.
Yeah. But no, it's
that's not a bad
some
thing.
originality
It's a
to
unique.
it.
Yeah, that's definitely not a bad thing. Very good, very good. Right, gentlemen, you ready for a decision?
Oh, I can't wait for a decision.
All right, steady on.
Oh. Don't worry, I'll get the fucking energy back.
Give me just do your New York impression for me again, mate.
Oh, yeah, what's the decision?
Have you ever been to New York out of interest?
I've never been on an aeroplane. Does it show?
Possibly. I don't know. Okay. Right then. Well, you both did very well in selling your good shows to me.
Oh, good shows.
But I think I'm going to give it to young Michael.
What? I was not expecting that. Thank you.
I am not particularly a cop show kind of guy. Particularly not the procedural sort of stuff. A bit of action, fair enough, and silly comedies, sure. And this sounds like an interesting mashup that might lead me into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yes, and for the New York accent as well.
The funny thing is, I don't think any of the cast are from New York or talk with the accent.
Is that why you picked it up? Is that how you? Oh, good
I
stuff.
didn't know it was
Right
set
then.
in New York. Actually, I've seen clips of Castle, but I didn't know it was actually set in New York.
It's worth a bash.
I've got a couple of friends who it doesn't seem their kind of thing, but they do enjoy it as well.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. I reckon it would be good if we could, once we've gone through these and we've got the series as up and everything, and we watched them and things like that. It'd be good if we could reconvene and say, Mike, what the fuck were you on about that shit? And vice versa, it would be good.
Well, I did wonder, because somebody mentioned it last night, if you were going to do a watch party for this, like you did with the zombie episode on stream.
Oh, right.
Somebody mentioned what a good time that they had when we all got drunk and got on Discord.
Yeah, that was amazing, wasn't it? And we probably will. We'll do another one for sure. That one was like a birthday special, wasn't it? But
I think as part
but
of the that charity stream I did a few months back, I think we watched a couple of episodes of Big Train, actually.
Oh, really?
There we go. Anyway.
Round 2. It's time for the bad series. These are ones where we will... Oh, fuck it. Why can't I never do that paragraph? Fuck. And I always get angry, and then I rant at the microphone, and then I say it.
Is it scripted? Are you reading it as well?
Yeah, I actually don't have 3 monitors. It's just one's a script. It's a teleprompter, if anything. Right, so yeah, bad round. We're going to get bad series. I almost said films. And we're going to have to try and portray ours as the worst. Worst one wins with a point. I am 1 up on Ed. And also I have 1 point. Hey! That was a dick joke.
Right.
Bad dragon.
Bad dragon.
We'll start.
That's also a
Shall
dick
we start
joke.
by spinning Michael's wheel?
Yes.
Spin
Fuck
the
it. Let's spin it
wheel.
up a bit.
Tick, 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 tick.
Nice.
Iron
didn't
side.
know-
Iron
I
side.
didn't know this existed. The 2013.
Yes, they
Iron.
remade it.
Butterfly.
God.
Oh,
So many
cracky.
questions. So many questions.
Sorry, I thought I would get my dick out. No, I was just opening the window. I'm a bit sweaty. Okay, Ed, spin that wheel.
Okay. Here
In your own
we
time.
go.
And what's it gonna be? Thank God for that. Right, Trailer Park Boys, the animated series.
Okie doke. There we go.
Okay.
Right then. Ed, let's start with you.
Oh, thank
and
God, I
Trailer
thought you were just
Park
gonna fucking
Boys.
destroy me again.
Okay. To start with, has anybody seen Trailer Park Boys before?
I have. I watched a
I've
few of the first
seen
episodes.
A bit of it, yeah. A couple of episodes.
Yeah.
I
So
did,
the
yeah.
first 3 or 4 series were really well done. Then they started to push it just to generally being silly and getting drunk and taking drugs and getting wasted, and it just kind of lost the original aspect of it. I still, being the idiot I am, I still keep watching them every time they release a new series, hoping that it'll be better. But what happened was, I think it was about season 8 or 9, I can't remember, Mike Clattenburg, the person who created it, he sold the rights to the TV series to the main 3 actors from Trailer Park Boys. So they had the rights to it, and they decided to go their own way with it. And that's when they got a deal with Netflix to do stuff. After that, the first series on Netflix, it was okay, I guess. And then it just got stupid. It just seemed like they were just trying to find any reason just to roll around and look like they were just high and shit. It just didn't have the same feel to it anymore. Even if they did get people like Snoop Dogg into episodes and such.
But why?
Yeah.
Was he playing
I don't
himself?
Yeah, it was Snoop Dogg.
So
and
why
Snoop
is
Dogg.
because isn't it a trailer park in Canada or something?
Yeah,
that it's
it
set?
is. Yeah,
It's-
Nova Scotia in Canada.
So why is Snoop Dogg
apparently
there?
it was
What's that
because
about?
Ricky, one of the characters in it, he was making some brilliant weed. He was growing his own
okay.
weed, and apparently he got a deal with Snoop Dogg to sell it or something stupid like that.
Just
Because
imagine
you've got
Snoop
to
Dogg
remember,
watching this
Trailer
and being
Park
like, I
Boys,
can go
it was
wherever I
a
want.
Actually, that doesn't sound
mockumentary.
so far fetched now. You say it.
Trailer Park Boys was a mockumentary, so by this point it was a case of Snoop Dogg going, "I've seen your documentary on TV" and things like that as
right,
well.
okay.
So they're supposed to have gained some popularity through that. But they started doing their own things as well. So they started doing like Trailer Park Boys Around the World, where they had some stupid deal with their fictional yet real production company. So the production company they created was called SwearNet Productions. And it's there as well in their fictional world. So they've got this camera team from SwearNet that follow them around. And they made a deal in the fictional version with SwearNet to kind of go to different countries and explore. But you find out that when they get there, they've got to complete certain tasks to actually have money to do anything. And they just put them in stupid situations. It was a bit shit. And I think the point where they really jumped the shark, if they hadn't already, was Trailer Park Boys animated series. It just felt like they were just trying to do anything where they didn't have to do as much as possible yet make money.
Right.
They've got stupid things like the SwearNet is a website as well, where it's a subscription website where if you pay for a subscription you get access to like the video podcasts or their own short videos. And
They'll
things
never
like
work.
That. No, they've been doing it for
Video
years, but
podcasting,
then-
that'll never take off.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. I know where you're going with it, but we don't pay for it. We don't make people pay. It's a good idea, though. It's just they just feel like they're just trying to make a fast buck. And when it came to the animated series, it just got even more ridiculous. So they kind of
Okay.
did a crossover thing. At the end of the last series they did of the live-action Trailer Park Boys, they were all on acid. And they got arrested and they were in prison. And at the end of that, they were so tripping that they thought that they turned into cartoons. And that's when it came into Trailer Park Boys, the animated series. It kind of spanned off into their own little acid world where it just means that they can get absolutely fucked up. They can get ran over by cars and stuff, and they can get back up or whatever. John Dunsworth, who played who played the Trailer Park manager in the original ones, he passed away. So what they did is, because they wanted to keep him in it, they turned him into a ghost, and they kept sampling lines from the original TV series over it to try and tie it all together, which I just thought was it just seemed a bit weird, if I'm honest. Yes, because it just feels like all they're trying to do at the moment is make money. And it was at that point where there was a couple of bits in the first episode that made me laugh, and I did watch half of, if not all of the first series of it. So I kept trying to say, let's give it a go. It just didn't feel like it was going anywhere. It just felt more and more stupid. They had the baby, his grandson, I think by that point, he was a baby, but he could talk like a 5-year-old toddler. It just turned into just like Hanna-Barbera on drugs. It was horrible. It was fucking awful.
I mean, it sounds like you were kind of hating the series anyway before it got to this point. Like you'd kind of fallen out with it. It was one of those
because I'd invest so much time into it. I just keep watching it. It's one of those because I really, really enjoyed the first few series. It felt like it. Yeah. It had some roots to it, and after a while, it just felt like they threw it away. But there were still some bits in there that were funny, and I'd keep watching it. Even the stuff where they did world tours and stuff, there were bits I still found funny. It just didn't feel like it was sitting right. Even if it wasn't Trailer Park Boys, if it was something completely different, I'd still think it would be fucking shit. It could be, it could. So they could be completely original characters, and it would be fucking awful.
Is the animation at least good? Is it at least a well animated?
If I'm honest, it's not too bad. I've seen a lot worse animation. It's smooth, it's clean. There's not a lot of detail to it, but it's smooth enough animation. I can't remember if they did it for 4K. I can't remember, but it's
what kind of style is it? Does it look like anything? Is it a recognizable?
No
studio. I guess it's the wrong people.
I was trying to think of that. I wouldn't say it's like Futurama.
Because I think I've seen a couple of stills of it. I've never watched
there's
it.
not a lot of like, what's the word, like texture or gradient to the animation. It's solid lines. It's fairly clean stuff. Maybe closer to Seth MacFarlane? Yeah, closer to his stuff maybe. I would say like Family Guy and American Dad. It might be similar to that style.
Okay, I keep trying to think. It's like I say, I've seen stills of it and not watched any of it, but I keep bringing to mind in my head. I'm making the comparison to the Clerks animated series.
Oh, I never watched that.
Which again, that didn't work for me either. I
heard it was pretty dog shit, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan.
Yeah, this just felt like they're doing it because they can't be bothered to act. They don't want to set stuff up anymore. They'd rather just sit in front of a microphone. It does feel like they're just doing it just to get that extra bit of money. Like they don't have enough and they want to keep going.
So in that case, do the voice performances suffer for that? Does it sound like they're just kind of phoning it in at this point?
I think so. Honestly, I do. It just doesn't feel like they're putting effort into it. And I think that might be one of the things about it. It's like when you watch the live action stuff, it's weird. Like you still get bits of background noise and things, but because it's all animated, it's all in a booth and a microphone. There's no ambience or anything in the background. What, Mike? What are you laughing at?
What's so funny, Mike?
Literally, as soon as you said, "Oh, it's not really filmed very well," you get lots of background noise, and then as soon as you said that, a train went past.
Oh,
But yeah,
excellent.
it just feels like they haven't thrown any ambience into it or anything. It just I forgot to say they still try to go for the documentary style, so they keep doing the shaky cam, like it's a documentary.
Right, okay.
But all you get there is you just get a slight rotation of a few degrees, but it's all really smooth. It's like you're on a shit roller coaster. So yeah, that's the other bit I forgot to mention. It gets a bit nauseating.
So what was it that you liked about the original? I'm trying to get a sense of this was such a letdown.
I felt so the original, if I go back to the first few series, it felt like the characters, they kind of had a they were fairly grounded characters in a strange way for people who were supposed to be off the face and on drugs. But it felt like you almost had a bit of a family feel to it. It was quite a community feel to it, although they were all drunk and off their face. It was proper. Yeah, they were throwing the trailer trash into it, but it just felt like it was going somewhere with it. And then after a while, it was never going anywhere, and they just kept rinsing the whole thing. Like you had Leahy, the trailer park supervisor. He was a reformed alcoholic, and then after a while you saw him when he was drunk, and everyone went, "Oh, let's get drunk Leahy back." So he was always at the beginning of each series again. He's like, "I'm sober again now. I'm perfectly fine." And by the end of it, he's drunk again, and it started going in a loop after a while. But the first few series, it just felt like you were seeing characters establish themselves, and it was they weren't kind of completely ripping the shit out of people who live in trailer parks, because they were establishing themselves as as what they are. Yes, they're trash, but also at the same time that they have morals.
Mm-hmm.
And then after a while, they just didn't have any of that anymore.
And just went for the sort of caricature.
Yeah, it was. That's the good word for it. Yeah,
stereotype, trailer trash.
It wasn't even that.
Poor
It was
people
just
doing stuff.
It was a lot of rinse and repeat, and after a while, it was just a case of. A good example is Trailer Park Boys merch store. If you go on there now, you can spend a stupid amount of money on a bong.
Right.
Just to have a green bong with the Trailer Park Boys logo stuck down the side of it. That's where they've got to now.
Tasteful.
Right.
Yeah. And
okay. So did they start shoehorning random celebrities into the animation as well, or?
I think they did. Yeah, they had a band in the last one. I can't remember who it was. Because they do get a few. They've had a couple of bands. I mean, at one point when they were still fairly good, they had Rush. They were trying to break into a Rush gig so they could sell drugs. Right. And it was a fairly good episode, if I'm honest, and they had them in it. But the last one, I can't remember what it was. They were trying to, in the animated series, they were trying to host an event to raise money, and they were waiting for a band and it didn't turn up, but it turned up at the very end, and I can't remember what it was, but it was a fairly popular-ish band. So yeah, they still try and shoehorn stuff in there.
Shoehorn stuff in. Have you seen the Rush episode, Mike? You're a Rush fan, aren't you?
I do like Rush. No, I haven't.
You're going to be looking it up after this, aren't you?
I'm doing it now.
All right, so yeah, it massive disappointment from something that you originally enjoyed that kind of got to the point of flogging a dead horse.
As you're right, the series got shitter, and it kind of I after a while I was like, you know what, I've got a day off, I'll just watch them, fuck it. But this, it just kind of, that was the one where I went, you know what, I've fucking had enough now. I gave it a chance because the first episode I thought, this, they're trying to get on their feet with this whole new format. It could work. I'll give it a chance. And I kept watching it. I went, no, fuck this. And that says a lot because when if they did another live action series of Trailer Park Boys, I would still watch it knowing it's shit. But this one, I went, you know what, bollocks to it. I can't be fucking arsed now.
So you persevered with the rest of it, but this is the one element of their stuff that you haven't been able to get through.
I mean, you've got series 1, episode 4. The title of it is The Penis Milker. I mean, what way can you go wrong with that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm giggling now, but I don't think I'd go for that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Thought you loved penis milking.
I mean, when I'm on my own, what I do with myself is my business.
Is it? Why do you?
So to my OnlyFans.
Why do you record it for everyone else then?
Man's got to get paid somehow.
Only glands.
Oh, that was one I've just remembered. So they've got episode 2. I think this was the one that Brad went, you know what, fuck this shit. They had one called the Pepperoni Cobra. And what it was is apparently Ricky had been infected by a tapeworm. And so whenever he picked something up, he just used to eat a stick of pepperoni. Whenever he used to pick up food, try and eat it, suddenly he'd open his mouth, and out of his mouth this worm thing would appear. Out of his mouth, take the food, eat and swallow it, and go back inside. And he's just there getting angry throughout the whole episode because he's got a
Sounds
worm
like
inside
Alien.
and it keeps coming out of his mouth and eating shit. I tell you what, it's on par with. When you were talking about Clerks and stuff like that, did you ever see the animated series of Napoleon Dynamite?
A bit, yeah. And,
Yeah,
I
and
wasn't
she just went,
impressed
"What
with
the
that.
fuck is this? It's nothing like it's source material. It's like that."
It's got the name on it, and that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds pretty shit. Mikey,
Hi there.
shall we talk about Ironside?
Fuck it. Let's get some iron in us. Okay.
Tell me about it.
You want the
What is it?
synopsis?
I do, please.
So, put yourself back in to the old 1967. You've got Raymond Burr playing a lovely detective in a wheelchair. The way Ironside worked back then is that Raymond Burr would be a very serious man, and he would be the fucking brain of this entire operation. And he had like a team with him, right? Like a couple of other guys. I can't remember their names. Not important. Who were they were basically his arms and legs. So they would arrive to the. You're just imagining them just like attached.
I was definitely thinking of like the Power Rangers.
Yeah, yeah. Iron
Voltron, going sort of Transformer-esque, yeah. Because I'd watch the shit out of that. I'll be honest with you.
If only they did that with 2013, huh? But yeah, basically, they get to the crime scene, whatever it may be, and he will work everything out and tell people to do thy bidding, whether it be, okay, shoot that fucker, run after that bitch, whatever it is, gets it done. Now, going on to 2013, that series, the original went from 67 to 75. Very successful. 8 seasons, that one. Nice, good stuff. Now then, Ironside 2013. Just to put it into perspective, was made in 2013. They recorded 9 episodes, only 4 were ever released.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's one of those. So
It's a daytime show, wasn't it?
I mean,
Was it a daytime
only
show?
for 4 days.
Yeah, but I mean, it's got to be bad if they remove it from the daytime slot.
I know, we mentioned Diagnosis Murder earlier, and, Diagnosis Murder, Ironside, Quincy Emmy, they all go, together. They've all got their own niche.
Do you know why I always thought Quincy lived on a boat?
He does,
I
doesn't he?
thought it's because he never wanted to invite Ironside round for dinner.
I swear you've said that joke before, haven't you?
I probably said it to you, yeah, was pissed. I just love it. I just like the idea of just like Ironside outside just going, curse you, Quincy!
Just giving him the finger.
Maybe Quincy will just bring a little tray with some lasagna on it out.
And just fling it at him with a spoon.
Okay. Secretly, we all know Quincy's a lovely geezer and put a little ramp in for him.
I've never seen
Anyway,
it, but-
Quincy is fucking amazing. Right. I liked my grandma. She was a lovely woman. She taught me all the good series there is to watch. Right.
But we're talking bad series, Michael.
We are, and this is
New
one of them.
Ironside.
Right, so basically it was cancelled early, and it was shit. Absolutely crap. So apart from that, I'll give you some other shit to feed on, Aidan.
Thank you.
So it was basically a crime drama. Now, we've spoken about Castle earlier in this very podcast, and that had its niche, right? It was the famous rich author who brings a comedy element to it, and that comedy element mixed with the serious cop drama is what makes that work stand out and is unique. This doesn't have that. What they did for their unique thing was exactly the same crimes, shot in exactly the same way, but there's a man in a wheelchair. They did try and have that sort of like Ironside was the captain and then he took control over the other people around him, like, okay, chase after him, go there, why hasn't this been done already, blah blah blah. But it just doesn't work. They're focusing a lot more on the actual disability than the crime, if that makes sense. So like they do scenes like where he gets into a taxi, I think it's a taxi, or the back of a car at least, and there's a scene where they specifically shoot him putting his legs in the car, you know, and like that, and then hoisting himself over to get in, and it comes off really awkward and, well, weird, to be honest. It breaks it up because they're trying to make him this macho guy that's in a wheelchair, saying he can kick everyone's ass and he can do anything, but it takes that much effort. Now, before I know what you guys are thinking, wow, he's taking this in a weird direction, people are in wheelchairs, Mike, you can't be slaying them. There is a big difference between Raymond Burr and whoever plays this guy, Blair Underwood, apparently. Raymond Burr was actually disabled.
Right.
This guy isn't.
Okay.
So it's like the whole time when you're watching it, you constantly think, if anything, they're just taking the piss almost, you know? It just comes off that way. It comes off making like, oh yeah, he's going through oh God, this is so, I'm going to have to try and get into this car now. And it's like, come on, like it just comes off. I know they're trying to do good. I know they're trying to portray disabilities in the crime drama thing, and I think they totally should. It's awesome, but they should do what they did with the original and at least get someone that's in a wheelchair to play the guy in the wheelchair.
Yeah, it kind of conjures up images that he had some awkward research.
Yeah,
can I just read this?
to talking to people and
I just want to read this
practicing.
out. Various news outlets, they said the plot of the show revolved around a tough, sexy, but acerbic police detective in a wheelchair after a shooting. Tough and sexy. That's Ironside all over. Oh dear.
So does New Ironside also have his arms and legs, as you put it?
As aforementioned, yes, he does, and he does command them around. There's one particular scene where one of their friends is being taken hostage. Have you guys ever seen the film? Is it SWAT? No, it's not SWAT. It's Speed. Right at the beginning of Speed, he shoots his friend to get the guy, right?
Yeah.
Basically does that. He says, shoot him in the leg. And then one of his arms says, oh, really? You want me to shoot him? And then he just goes around, because he's black Ironside in this one as well. And he just goes, did I stop? And it's just like, okay, you're not Samuel Jackson Eva, all right? Say it again.
I thought you were telling me the origin story. Then he got his partner to shoot him.
Oh right. No. Yeah, right.
Wait,
yeah,
wanted a day off?
We've all had those mornings,
just
you know.
in the foot.
Have you literally never been on your way to work driving and then you think, I might have a car accident?
No.
I might be in the wrong.
I mean, I've been driving to work and nearly had a car accident. Sure, but sure. I know what you mean. I did contemplate throwing down myself down the stairs the other week.
Well, I would rather die in a car accident than watch Ironside 2013.
That's going on the poster. That's a quote for the DVD kit.
In the quotes, Pocket Knockers 2020.
I read that they went to try and go for gritty and violent this time round. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is it?
I mean that's just the way of the reboot, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. You have to try and make it more better.
Everyone likes a bit of grit.
But the thing is, like, if Ironside was going to be remade, I mean, key in point, you definitely fucking need that, at least an actual disabled person in the wheelchair, or else you're just taking the piss out of people in wheelchairs. It's not cool or funny. then you want the wheelchair. If I was going to do it, like it's got to have like rockets on the back and machine guns and like fucking.
You're just James Bond in it all.
Yeah. You can have a theme tune, but slightly different. Dum digga dum boom dum bam dum boom digga ba boom dum bam dum. Iron Bond. But yeah, if you wanted to go that way with it, that's the way you could go with it. But it would have been fucking better than this. It would have been better than this. It would have been better.
Oh, I want to hear a bit more of that theme tune at some point. Just, I need a new ringtone, and I think that's what it should be.
What do you mean you need a new ringtone? Due to copyright licensing. Right,
Okay,
there
so
you go.
it's maybe a touch insensitive.
They didn't.
What
They
they
weren't.
did.
The problem is, well, it's not a problem, but they weren't directly insensitive. It's not like they were taking the piss out of him. It's just as someone who knows he's not disabled, you think,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's plenty. There's
slightly-
plenty of people with a disability out there who would probably love an acting career. Why not go?
yeah,
there?
right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Poor casting decision.
But something that affects the whole plot and feel of the entire series.
I mean, it was cancelled early, right? So I think that says a lot about how good it was anyway.
Indeed.
I mean, why did it fail? What was the? I'm assuming poor ratings or
Exactly. Yes. I don't know if there was
specific?
an exact nail in the coffin as such.
Okay.
Excuse me. Let me just have a look into my memory here a second. Oh no, that's my memory of the original series. I just need to try and remember something from this one. No, I can't remember. I don't think there's any particular reason why it got cancelled. It was just fucking shit.
Nobody watched it.
Yeah. Controversy. Yeah, so exactly, as we were just talking about, there was controversy over the role of him playing a paraplegic Ironside. Oh right, yeah, Sons of Anarchy guy with one leg apparently auditioned for it, and he didn't get it. They went for this guy.
Fuck off!
Who was that?
Come on.
Who was the guy? Who was the Sons of Anarchy guy?
I can't remember. I just closed the bloody tab. I mean, the memory.
The memory.
I just closed the memory. Yeah.
I'm trying to think who that was because I watched all of that and I can't remember a one-legged
I watched it all last year, and I can't remember actually. Hang on, reopen last closed memory. Reception, production, controversy. Sorry, just going through my mind here. I keep things in little files, as it were.
You're going to remember the actor's name, and I won't know.
Kurt Yeager. I'm going to do now. Just search my memories of Kurt Yeager.
Cross-reference.
Okay. Is he He is a paraplegic. I don't remember him from Sons of Anarchy, though. He's also a BMXer, so he's very competent. He looks more competent than the non-paraplegic actor that played Ironside. Yeah, I don't know who this is. What? Did I read it correctly? Himself an amputee compared to the act who... okay. Sons of Anarchy actor Kurt Yeager. Yeah, Sons of Anarchy actor Kurt Yeager. Okay. Also, Angel, a paralysed actress who appears in the Sundance Channel's series. Sorry, I'm just going through my memories now. Was quoted saying,
I don't recognise him. I'm also looking at your memory.
Yeah. We're just so together. So basically, this article is about disabled people
Greg
saying that they were
in
offended.
Sons of Anarchy. Agity? Agity? He played Greg the Peg in Sons of Anarchy.
I don't know.
No.
I'm assuming a one-off.
Yeah, it must have been just in one episode, and he was like someone in the background who got shot. But yeah. Larry Sapp, a disabled independent filmmaker, went as far as to boycott the show by starting a Facebook page called Don't Shoot Ironside. All right. Okay. Right, there we go. That's basically my synopsis. They carried on the original sort of thing of there's an extremely clever, intelligent, powerful man mentally in a wheelchair, and he has people around him that he can command perfectly to bring criminals down in an organised fashion. Isn't it amazing? He's lovely. Except they didn't really do that. They tried to make him too powerful, and it was almost sarcastic in its approach, of course, as we mentioned, because of the lack of disability from the actual actor. It was actually shot quite nicely. If you, after this, want to look at one of my memories of a YouTube video I once watched, you can see that it's actually shot quite nicely. Yeah, but I mean, apart from that, it's a non-starter.
Is it just the problem with source material again, I'm guessing?
Original Ironside was fucking cracking. You know, it was like action, but also because he was the brains, it was that was where he came from. You know, he was a very clever man. Because of that, he managed to command his appendages perfectly. And then it was fine because he was actually disabled, and it was very nice and shot very well, especially for the 60s. And then you got this.
So, do you think it could have worked had the casting been more appropriate?
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, I reckon if the casting were more appropriate and they focused more on Ironside's mentality and his wit and cleverness of a situation, rather than trying to make him do things like gunfights and stuff, which that's what his guys are there for, right?
Yeah. Okay. No further questions, gentlemen. I think we're ready for a decision.
Decision time.
And I think it's going to go to Animated Trailer Park Boys.
Yes.
Sounding absolutely horrendous, flogging a dead horse. Yeah. And I mean, picking a cancelled show, Mike, that feels like a cheat.
Why?
Because it was cancelled. It's obviously rubbish, but
what do you mean? His good show only went on for 2 seasons.
No, well, I don't know. Like I said, I think if the only issue was the insensitive casting, whereas
the only issue was absolute discreditation to disabled people. I mean, that's fine.
You know what I mean.
Everyone follow AidanHalfTroll. He's on Twitter and Twitch.
I'm a good guy.
No, I fully understand.
You know what I is saying in terms of it being a bad show. I've lost my fucking lighter, and that's really annoying the piss out of me.
Oh no. Maybe if you get the friction up, you might be able to start a fire.
Oh, don't! I've set fire to myself far too many times.
So
when was the last time you used a hob to light a rolly?
I used to have. It was a trick when I was old enough to smoke in school, and I had 2 shit Chinese lighters with a cricket in the middle, and used to jack the lighters up on the outside just so that they wouldn't start leaking on themselves. So you could then, with 3 fingers, strike the middle one and go, oh yeah, do you want to light, mate? Yeah, cool, yeah, here you go. And then just go with the other 2, and it would just fucking shoot up their face. I had a guy, one of my good friends who had really long hair, you know, like, oh yeah,
rest
I'm a
his
rocker.
soul.
Yeah.
So you made a weapon, essentially.
No, exactly, yeah.
I like
Don't know what I just admitted to there, but yes. Anyway, I think that was a well-deserved win, Edward. Well done. I think there's far too many adult series, and we don't need more, and flogging dead horses in a fashion like that needs to suck a dick.
Quiet.
Very good.
Nice.
Shall I get Aidan's wheel out?
Get Aidan's fucking wheel out.
It's packed.
Bit like Ed's arse, really.
With circular goodness.
Oh, do you want to borrow a lighter?
I found it.
Oh, right, okay.
I was sat on it. If I can't find it, I'm usually sitting on it.
Just so you don't lose your dick, then.
And...
right, go on.
Mike.
Me first this time, I'm guessing, yeah.
Tick, 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 tick.
Oh, detectorists, swarm.
Good
Are you going to
sense of
stick with that one?
community.
Yeah, I've got no reason not to.
Detectorists it is. Okay.
Nice.
And
Now you.
for me.
Round 3.
Fight. Supernatural.
Okay.
Nice.
You seem happy with that choice.
Never seen it. People keep saying, "Oh,
That's
you'd
good.
like
I've never-
that." I'm like, nah.
No, I would never do that. Why'd I assume that you like that series for?
Okay.
Supernatural.
Michael and I are going to take 5 minutes to have a quick research session.
Let's go
on,
exactly now. It's just gone
given
9
shows.
minutes past. Go for it.
Come on, baby. Right there, right there. Yeah, that's it, that's it. Don't stop, baby, don't stop. That's good. Keep it going, baby, keep it going. Give it to me. Yeah, give it to me, baby, give it to me good. Feels so good.
Right then, ladies and gentlemen, we have had our 5 minutes. Well, I've had my 5 minutes. Ed'll carry on with another 20 minutes of research while I do my spiel. Aidan, please ask me questions about my favourite series, The Detectorists.
The Detectorists. Well, why don't we do as we always do, and you just give me a general overview of what it's all about?
Okay. So, The Detectorists is literally just that. It's a series about a couple of geezers who've got metal detectors and the antics they get up to. It's written by Mackenzie Crook, who is also one of the guys you'll probably know from Pirates of the Caribbean. He's the guy with the glass eye. But yes, Mackenzie Crook wrote this, directed it, and he's also one of the main guys as well, main characters, along with Toby Jones, who is also a famous gentleman. Now then, each episode is what, Aidan?
Each episode is what?
You sniggered. What ad?
I was just sniggering at the phrase "famous gentleman." I don't know.
Okay.
It just tickled me.
Okay.
He's also a man, Toby Jones, who is also a human man.
All right, so each episode is about half an hour, and well, it's literally 29 minutes. There are 3 seasons currently. It's ongoing, and basically this whole it's a scripted comedy, but it's like they very much play on the warmth.
Oh,
Nice.
that's terrifying. Don't ever do that again.
There's also a good sense of community spirit.
I had 2 words written on the cards.
Well, they fuck and Ed. We should probably
No one
explain.
listening is going to understand this. No one listening is going to understand.
That's why I was just going to explain. We recorded
for
this
it.
already. This podcast has already been recorded. We've mixed it up a bit because last time when we did this, Edward already knew his series, which was The Detectorists. So we're re-recording it, and it just so happens that I've got the one that he already explained. I think it was a couple of weeks ago we recorded that, wasn't it?
It was. That's what it's got.
So, yes, I am somewhat familiar just from his explanation. But yeah, it's after watching that as well, like the little bit I did just watch there, it literally is just as Ed was describing it, and as I am going to describe it now. It does have a nice... It's not like shouting comedy. They're not in your face, blah, blah, blah. It's just the slight back and forth that they have between each other. That's what it's about. There's a train. Oh, look at the community going past on the train. Bet the engine's probably quite warm.
Nice.
So, yes, they go around, they find things, get accused of things, and meet lovely other characters on their journeys. And in my favourite episode, actually, they meet 2 characters that look like Simon and Garfunkel, which they have a lovely exchange of conversation with. And to reference, or to pop a quote in... I don't know why, it was just his accent. Bear in mind, I've listened to his voice many times. Good old Toby Jones's accent when he first meets Simon and Garfunkel, and he's got an old metal detector. And Toby Jones goes, "Oh, you see one of those in years." I don't know why, that one line flatlined me. It was good. Obviously, all of his other lines that I have seen since then are also fabulous. It's set in Danebury, which is a little village, if you like, almost. Lots of little pubs and quaint places and things like that. There's no sense of city going on here, guys. This is all about the community and warmth.
Is Danebury a real place?
No.
No, it's a fictional village.
It is, yes. It's made up, and that's because, of course, they probably shoot on location in different places. There's only so many fields that you can actually go metal detecting in, so they actually pop around the country, I should imagine, in any fields that farmers will let them in, wanging their detectors around. They always get good weather, though.
It's the warmth.
It's wonderful weather.
Adds to the warmth. So you said they are accused of things.
Yes.
What sort of things? So we got scandal. And intrigue.
Scandal. So there's the Simon and Garfunkel. It's like I've only seen bits of one episode. Where Simon and Garfunkel accuse them of stealing an ancient artifact. They know that they took it, and they're playing dumb about the whole situation. It culminates in Shania Twain taking it to Leonardo DiCaprio to get valued, and it's good. It's good. They win. They get.
They are also famous people.
No, they're not. They're like B-list, you know. No, Shania Twain is. Sorry, Shania.
Man,
Hi.
I feel like a famous woman.
Yeah. Gentlewoman.
A gentlewoman.
Yes. What else would you like to know, Aidan?
I would like to know also.
Yes.
Who is your favourite character in the Detectorist?
Well, I you know what? Like, this is the first thing I've seen Mackenzie Crook do other than glass-eyed boy out of Pirates of the Caribbean, and I think Andy
never
Stone,
watched The Office then?
No,
Okay.
Really?
no, I haven't watched The Office. I was too busy watching James Bond and Detectorists.
And Castle.
Yeah, and Cass. you regret your choice so bad, don't you? You're like,
No, it's all.
And
but
Iron
yeah,
Bombs.
I think because of that, it's good to see him actually Iron Bond.
Just give me some of the Iron Bomb theme tune.
Yeah. Hot Dog Taxi Iron Bond. It's good to see him do other things, play other characters, and he does do it very well. I also didn't know he could write this well and direct at the same time. As well, all three of us are content creators. We do writing and directing to some extent. You appreciate good art when you see it, sir. Never fucking watch this, mother.
I thought that was the tinny that you discovered earlier then.
Oh no, it's a kind of Monster Punch, not a sponsor. Vimto.
All right, so it's is it a comedy? Did you say?
Yeah, it is a comedy, but as I said, it's not in your face sort of thing.
So
It's not like a sketch show or, sorry, a fucking train's going by. It's not a sketch show or properly like Mighty Boosh where it's just constantly at it and just it's comedy. Nothing's taken seriously. They do still have dramatic and well-written conversations, but more than likely that'll culminate in a punchline of some description. And that is good because it just makes it just brings it all together, a bit like the Community, and it makes it feel nice and warm. It was shot in 16:9 aspect ratio as well, and it was actually originally emitted at 1080 interlaced, which is a good choice because I don't like P very much. I definitely like the interlacing.
Fuck off! What the fuck is this bollocks? What do you mean you don't like? What's the difference between I and P? And why do you not like
I may have
I?
run out of things to talk about.
These are all factors I look for in my TV shows.
Yeah. If it hasn't got interlacing, fuck off.
You can fuck your progressive scan.
Maybe I should have just said Einstein 2013 was progressive scan and then Aidan would have picked me instead.
Okay, so tell me more about the plot. What's going apart from detecting metal? What else is going on?
So yes, they detect metal and stuff. So apart from what you specifically just told me not to talk about, they're trying to basically, obviously metal detecting isn't the most popular thing in the world, even if the point of this series. So they're constantly trying to drag people in. So they invite people to the DMDC, which is the club that they're in, the Danbury Metal Detecting Club, and they constantly inviting people and. The thing is, they get up to other things as well, like such antics, like ex-wives and things come into it, and they also have interactions with antiqua searchers. Which is...
Who are the antiqua searchers?
Sorry?
Who are the antiquity searchers?
They basically just know all about the artifacts, and they are... Think Antiques Roadshow.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, when you take your little watch that your nan had for 50 years and wore on her wrist and never took off, and you're like, fuck it, this is going to the antiqua searchers. And then you take it there and they're like, oh, it survived World War II and everything like that. It's amazing. It was actually originally commissioned by Henry Ford. And you're like, oh, that's brilliant. Flog it. They're those people. But to be honest, more or less, it does revolve just about the community and warmth.
Yes, that's okay.
So I've got a really itchy ear just dealing with that.
Is there any drama? Obviously, we've got a lot of warmth and community, but is there any negative aspects to these characters' lives? Is there anything?
They do have a dramatic warmth sometimes,
Okay.
which does have an adverse effect on the community. Look at Ed. What's he doing? He's fucking writing a novel about it. Anyway.
I'm just making notes on the back of a receipt.
Just writing on the back fucking receipt of that.
Excellent.
Decorated gold handle stick legs. Present day detecting as they go, having had no success, they try to look up the whole jewels. They are hunting for a specific jewel.
Oh. Are they now?
Probably. Okay, so as it turns out, they probably are in Danbury specifically because that's where this thing is. Which, I mean, is such a... don't even think about that. I didn't when I first watched it. You just don't need to think about that sort of thing.
I didn't hear that. They're in Danbury because what?
It's a nice place, isn't it? They've got a nice pub. It's also an inn, so they could have some drinks and not need to drive home.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Which I don't know if you guys know the fictional village of Danbury, but I mean that's something I look for in a village is an inn.
And a specific jewel you mentioned.
Yeah.
No jewel, no inn. Fuck off. Progressive scan. Fuck you.
Ed, stop it. We know you've seen it. This is why you fucked up the first recording, all right? Don't chime in now just because you know more about this than I do, even though I've watched it a lot. And try and fuck me up.
I enjoyed the last
week.
We're
only
re-recording because you're a sore loser. So
good in.
Aidan only wants you to win because he's worried that we'll have to record it for the third time.
I'm just annoyed that we're not going to get a chance to do the new bonus round. Never mind. Either way,
maybe we'll just do it for fun.
Just
play it for fun if you want. I have an object in front of me ready to go and everything.
Oh, we'll do it for fun.
I've got one in front of me as well.
So there's a good in possibility of precious jewel.
There is an episode as well where they camp in a field and there's a magpie. Lol, it steals stuff. Good stuff.
Someone got
magpie.
an ice cream van nearby.
Yeah, that was me.
What is it? Your ice cream van?
No, I don't own an ice cream van. I've got a hot dog taxi. Thank you very much.
I don't think you owned it. I thought he's like your personal ice cream. Like you've called him up.
Oh right, yeah.
Like be a man for 12:30.
You don't get this belly for doing nothing. You need to get yourself an ice cream van. Due to copyright, though, they're Mr. Quippies. They just have quips written on them. Well, there's a new bloody market, isn't there? Okay, turns out, Simon and Garfunkel turn out to be characters that are portrayed again as well, like a lot. Good. Yeah, they're in there as well. Okay, so there's not one episode on Simon and Garfunkel. They're in it a lot. Looks to be like almost every fucking episode.
Okay, so who are they again? Who's Simon and Garfunkel?
Simon and Garfunkel are literally just a duo that look somewhat like Simon and Garfunkel, and thus they dubbed them Simon and Garfunkel. But unfortunately...
Are they members of the club?
No, I don't think they're rivals. I think they're probably rivals. I would be a rival, Mrs. Robinson.
Okay. Mike would be a rival. I'd be a rival. Weird flex, but all right, mate. I'm adding it to the notes.
Yeah, it was actually mainly filmed in Suffolk. As aforementioned, many fields, right?
Rich with metal.
Rich in metal. There is a Christmas special as well, which is lovely. It's one of my favourite Christmas specials of any series, actually, because they managed to get a late Saxon gold and jewelled Astel. Astel. And that's fun.
That is fun. If you're a metal detectorist, I'm sure it's incredibly fun.
Yeah, is that a real job, Aidan?
What, being a metal detectorist?
Yeah. Or did they made the
I don't think it's a profession. I think it's more of a hobby, isn't it?
A hobby, but obviously you're an archaeologist, so
obviously it's the beard. It's the dead giveaway.
Yeah. So I mean, do you not metal detect ever?
We do very occasionally. It's not something. Generally, the kind of, I mean, it's a bit of an issue, or can be a bit of an issue. Detectorists coming onto sites and do what's known as night hawking, which is essentially the theft of artifacts.
Okay.
So, I mean, there are plenty of good metal detectorists out there that do things by the book and report the finds, but there is a shady element. It's high drama.
Yeah.
Night hawking.
Yeah, essentially. Night hawking, that's what they call it.
Well, they chose that fucking name, didn't they? You wouldn't have chosen the detectorists would have chosen that one. We're fucking
Shy hawking. Shy hawking. Yeah, it does occur. I've worked on sites where it's happened. You'll come in the morning and there'll be random holes dug all over the place. Somebody's been on in the night trying to find.
Wow.
Trying to strike gold. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of people. I'd say, it's one of them. Most detectorists are good. They do it for the love of the history, for finding interesting things. But there is always that element that are just in it for treasure, basically, trying to get rich. And we've all heard stories of big coin hoards being found and things like that.
Yeah.
Which usually aren't portrayed. They quite often just sensationalize it and basically present it like, buy a metal detector and you're gonna get rich.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really help the issue. But
no.
I've worked. We do a little bit of it, but it's not something we do often. And I have worked with detectorists on site where they've had permission to be there. And
so, what's your views of the intro of Jurassic Park when they shoot that ultrasound thing into the ground? Because that would pick up bone, right? Do you use anything like that? Is there such a thing?
There is, there are various survey techniques. There's such a thing as ground penetrating radar. There's also resistivity and magnetometry surveys, which will essentially do the same thing. Resistivity survey, you get two probes and stick them in the ground. It shoots a current between them. And whether you've got high or low resistance will basically form a picture of what may or may not be underground. Whether it's essentially the current can't pass through walls, so they'll show us areas of high resistance, whereas something like a cut ditch that's been infilled will carry the current very well.
Okay.
Very low resistance, and basically you can plot it. You know, obviously computer programs and do it automatically for you now.
Okay.
But in the old days, you can basically just plot your numbers as plot the resistances as numbers and basically do a paint by numbers and come out with a plot.
Okay, so rather like Minesweeper.
Similar sort of thing to that.
Okay, well that concludes my part. Thank you, Aidan. Ed.
I stopped listening to all of that after Penetrative. So yeah.
Well, that's because you're too busy researching.
Which is as exciting as archaeology gets. By the way, I am filming for a TV show currently.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it Bone Kickers?
It's no, I wish. They're bringing Bone Kickers back and it's me. Digging for Britain.
Digging for Britain.
The site I'm currently working on is being filmed for.
When's that coming out?
The exclusive.
I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
What channel?
I don't know. I've never seen an episode of it in my life.
What is it
I don't
called?
watch archaeology programs. I do things I'm interested in.
What is it called? Sorry, Dig Britain.
Digging for Britain.
For Britain.
Is...
And I haven't watched terrestrial live TV in forever.
Alice Roberts, you met her.
No. Oh. No, they'll send a production company a team at some point.
Oh, right, okay.
The first instance we're filming, they do a lot. It's like they like to present it as like very sort of DIY.
She's fancy.
So,
it's BBC and BBC Two. There you go. Right.
I will say no to meeting Alice Roberts, though.
Yeah, she looks, classic. Lovely. Right.
Anyway, TV shows. Ed, do you want to tell me a little bit about Supernatural?
Supernatural, please? My favourite TV series. And Mike will be very happy to know that unlike his favourite TV series, Detectorists, which had, 3 series? This one had 15 seasons so far, which is really nice to... if you didn't know this programme and you had to research it, I would feel so sorry for you to have to try and figure out 15 seasons worth of a TV show. But luckily, I know it through and through. Because I absolutely love Sam and Dean Winchester, the main characters of the show. They're brilliant. It's like Dean Winchester. He's got so many quips. He's got some funny moments in it. Then you've got Sam Winchester, who can also have quip a bit, but he's such a badass, I tell you. What brilliant stuff. Yeah, so they're always there fighting demons and monsters and ghosts and all sorts, and they're driving around in their 1967 Chevrolet Impala, depending how you want to pronounce it. I don't know about cars because I'm too busy watching Supernatural. So yeah, most episodes are all centered around different ghouls or goblins based around like folklore or myths. My eyes naturally face downwards, by the way, and
like a dog.
Yeah, so they're there and they're driving around trying to find all these monsters. They're basically monster hunters, and as I said, it's so popular. It's gone on for 15 seasons. I mean, what else do you need to know? Just watch it.
So the Winchester brothers, are they? Who are they played by? Tell me a bit about the cast.
Oh right, so you got Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki. That guy. He's they're both in it. You've got I tell you what, your man, who I think is brilliant. He started in season 5, and anyone who's watched Firefly might know him as well. But Crowley, who plays a bit of a demon, And he became a recurring character, but he became so popular he became a main character in later seasons, and he played by Mark A. Shepard. You've got a few other people that you probably wouldn't know, like Katie Cassidy or Genevieve Cortez, and they're not like your big film stars or such, but they've gained a lot of popularity just through Supernatural TV series itself. It's gained quite a following.
Quite the following, indeed. 15 series. So are we? Is there an overriding storyline to it, or is it literally just a different monster each week?
Yeah, these guys they go around and they like hunting monsters and shit. And
the Penguin, 5 stars.
Yeah, 5 stars.
10 out of 10 with Supernatural again.
So they start to have a bit, the odd story arc here and there where, as I've said, you've got the Crowley guy. I can't remember what he called himself at the beginning of it, King of Hell or something like that. I can't quite remember, but he starts working with them on the sly. He doesn't want to, he doesn't want to get found out about the fact that he's helping them out and things like that, because of another big bad guy coming along and such. So he's almost like he's giving them tip-offs as such. The music for it as well. The main theme for it is "Carry On My Wayward Son," which is
nice.
quite a hit. You know that song, don't you?
Quite the hit indeed.
What?
Good. Right, there we go. It's
my fault.
More about.
Aidan told me about QWERTY just before we started, and now I'm just browsing through and deciding.
Oh, okay. Spending money. See if there are any Supernatural t-shirts.
I mean, they've
so the music is good.
I quite liked the music. I mean, Christopher Lennox and Jay Gruska, they did a fantastic job with composing the music and helping bring the show to life.
Oh,
is it interlaced or progressive?
It's interlaced, which I find inferior. Have you ever watched a football match on interlaced? Fuck's sake, what a mess. What a shambles.
So it's about brothers that fight monsters, so based on a true story. What is your favourite monster?
Well, would you class Crowley as a monster? Because I would, because he's from hell. Therefore, he's
probably
he's
ticks the box.
It's definitely a good one.
From hell equals monster.
Yeah, would you not say that?
Yeah, I'm in full agreement. I'm just taking notes.
Yeah. Okay. Of course, then they've got the weapons as well, like the Colt that they're always using. Which it's
the Colt?
It's from the 1830s. It's a revolver, and it was originally made by Samuel Colt. It's like an original, but he was also a paranormal hunter himself. And if you use one of the 13 original bullets, it will all the creatures are normally immune to bullets. They would die anyway. Which
magic
is nice.
Bullets.
And then you got magic bullets, magic knives, and all this other brilliant shit.
Your passion and enthusiasm for your favourite show is really coming across.
It's so much to go through because 15 seasons. 15.
So it's quite. Seasons. So there's a lot of action. Then I'm guessing we've got monsters.
Yeah. You got action,
weapons,
you got humour. It's they could be quite badass at times.
Train.
Don't fuck around with metal detectors, that's for sure.
So what are the levels of warmth and community that we've got in Supernatural?
You've got things like, I don't know, their dad, who appears every now and then until he dies at the end of the second season. There was some woman in it for a bit. and then she left.
Good stuff.
They've had so many characters coming in and out of it, and you know they still have characters like popping in and out now and then. I mean, where would I start? It's just
Season 1, Episode 1.
Oh, season
Go.
1, episode 1. Oh wow. Well, you know that's always a good start because it's brilliant, and I've watched it so many times that the list of episodes. So their dad's in it. I know that remember very well that their dad's in it. And
Who's the dad? Who plays the dad? Anyone we know?
Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I mean, everyone knows Jeffrey Dean Morgan. You know, he played Thingy from Walking Dead.
I am Negan.
Yeah, Negan from Walking Dead, and he was in Watchmen as well. Brilliant guy. He was their dad in it. So it starts off with that. In 1983, you've Mary Winchester. I think it's their mum. No, I know it's their mum. She investigates this sound coming from one of the kids' rooms, and she just sees someone standing over it and confronts them. But then all you hear is a screaming, and then you've got Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character waking up, going, "Oh fuck me, what's that?" And he pops out of bed. He nips into the room, and then she's stuck to the fucking ceiling. And he's like, "Well, that's not right. Something's amiss here."
So it's up here.
Yeah, and then he realised, "Oh, she's not well because she's got a slash across her stomach, and then she's on fire."
Shit. Hate it when that happens.
He's like, "What the fuck?" So so then he's got to he's got to get the kids out, so he fucks them off, and then the next minute the whole house is on fire. So yeah, that's how it starts off, and then that's why they get all into the paranormal and shit years later in 2005. So you've got Sam and his girlfriend Jessica, and they're celebrating some fucking score that he got from someplace, and other shit happens, and then the next minute you find out that they're starting looking for paranormal stuff. That's pretty much the origin of it. That's why.
So what first drew you to the show? What first made you want to watch it?
Because someone said, "Oh, look, because of the popularity of Doctor Who over in the UK, they're trying some of their own shit over in America now. They're trying to go a different way, and they started a supernatural TV series." So I thought, it's going to be crap in it. So I thought, I'll give it a go, and I was hooked by it. The next minute, it was much better than Doctor Who could ever be.
Wow, you're going all out on this one.
Somebody wants a point.
Your face on the pros just for a split second then with the best expression.
Oh, I missed it.
It was something akin to that.
Yeah. So yeah.
I mean,
so,
I'm getting a huge sense of your enthusiasm for supernatural.
Yeah, absolutely
better
love
than
it.
Doctor
And
Who.
because the end of the episode, then they've got to go looking for their dad again, and I don't think they see him until halfway through the series for a bit. But yeah, it's great. Watch it.
Lovely.
It's really good.
And there's 15 series, you say?
15 seasons.
So is it serious? Is it a very serious program?
No, it takes itself lightly. It's one of those. It can be dramatic when it needs to be, but the characters are very much they keep the humour going. It's great. All 327 episodes are brilliant.
Fucking
And
hell.
once again, if I didn't know this and I had to research it, I'd give it up just by when I read 327 episodes. To be honest, lucky. I love this show.
Imagine recording that many of anything.
Well, any final points? Sell it to me.
I think
pithy and succinct
Detectorists
way.
is just warm.
Detectorists is just warm. Okay.
Community spirit.
Warm community spirit and supernatural better than Doctor Who. Are we sticking with that? Ed?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so good. Looks like you're doing a poo-poo.
Oh. Well, I think I've heard enough, gentlemen. I think it's time for a decision.
I do like this bit.
And I think we're gonna have to go with the warmth and community of Detectorists.
Yes! Right, we're going to be re-recording this next week. Just to clarify, last time we recorded this, Ed fucking wiped me out and got every single round.
That in no way influenced the decision making this time. It was all down to your work selling the programs. So.
Thank you. And God blimey, I mean, I've got to say, the issue with the previous recording, as aforementioned, was that Ed had seen the Detectorists, and thus it was a bit of a weird and hollow victory at the end there. But it's so much better and more fun when we're both in the same situation at the end, right?
Right?
When we're both just
right.
like,
I just wanted to wind you the fuck up, to be honest.
yeah, yeah. But when we're both just like, I'm just going to look on my memory. Oh shit! I just okay, good. I thought I accidentally stopped the recording.
It has recently finished. Yeah, I've not actually seen it all myself.
Because it just says
I think I'm about 3 or 4 series behind.
Was it Supernatural? Sorry.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
right.
it was a couple of months, a month ago.
There you go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is great. I'm the fucking winner of the series podcast Pocket
And you'll
Knockers.
Never hear the end of it.
I know. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Aidan, for joining us on this month's podcast.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're more than welcome.
An absolute pleasure.
Yes, and you can follow AidanHalfTroll on Twitter and Twitch. Anything else, Aidan?
No, just those two things.
Those two lovely platforms. He does games. I recommend, obviously, the streams are honestly some of my favourite, and I would go so far as to say that you were probably the first streamer I actually watched stream and enjoyed tuning into. Ed, I just kind of was forced to. But yeah, no, it's really good. And also Twitter, he does the most gorgeous funny little videos every day on Twitter, just like a bit of a vlog sort of update scenario thing. But no, they're really cool. I highly recommend it. Ed, you can follow Ed on Ed the Penguin. He is also on Twitch and Twitter. And I am. You are, yes. And he does gaming and also watching old shit. I do like it when you watch old shit, Ed.
I love watching
anything with Nicholas Lyndhurst.
Yeah. Sorry, what's that?
Anything with Nicholas Lyndhurst.
Anything with Nicholas.
Actually, don't bother trying to talk, Aidan, because Ed will just talk over you fucking every single time anyway.
Fuck off, Michael, who can also be found on Twitter and Twitch as RetroSesh, one half of.
Yes, and of course YouTube and Facebook.
Oh, fuck that.
And MySpace.
YouTube videos.
Literally, I made MySpace account for RetroSesh.
Tinder.
And
did you really make a MySpace account for RetroSesh?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, fuck that.
Well, it's RetroSesh. You gotta have it.
What, is MySpace a thing again?
Yeah.
It never wasn't. It's still there.
Really?
It's true.
Did it really
true.
never go? Okay.
Yeah. Right, guys, let's finish there. We will see you next time, ladies and gentlemen. I keep looking at the wrong camera. Well, next time, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm sure it'll be fabulous. I don't even know what the subject is. But thank you for listening. You can find us, of course, on wherever you get your podcasts, and also Twitch. No, that was a lie. On Twitter is what I meant to say. On Facebook. And on YouTube, guys, you can watch the video if you are listening. This will be on YouTube as well. There's a train.
You can find all our previous episodes and platforms we are on at pocketknockers.co.uk.
Oh, yeah, we've got a proper website and everything. Shit.
Yeah.
There you go. Ciao for now, guys. I'm waving.
Goodbye.
I'm waving. We're all waving. Well, Ed's not
We're waving.
but Aidan and I are. Oh, there he is. He's waving. And he's waving literally at I'd say 0.5 frames a second. For us, at least.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.